I think everybody over here knows about OOPS, like OOPS, object-oriented programming. We talked about in the last class what OOPS concept are. Can anybody of you unmute yourself and talk a bit about what OOPS is, who were present in the last class? Please don't give the full form of OOPS. I want a proper definition. Guys, unmute yourself and please, so that it is easy for me to teach you also.
Hello, sir.
Huh.
Object-oriented programming, as the name suggests itself, object-oriented programming refers to the languages that uses objects in programming.
Okay,
Means
so what are objects?
object uh, objects means uh, basically it aims to implement real-world entities like inheritance, polymorphism, etc. in programming.
Okay. So those are the concepts of object-oriented programming, like benefits that you get of using object-oriented programming. So can you define what is data abstraction? Pankaj, can you define what is data abstraction? Anybody? What is data abstraction?
Abstraction is like hiding the background and only showing the words.
Okay, removing characteristics. No, that's wrong. We are not removing any characteristic. Jagriti, can you please repeat? I think your
What?
voice broke. Can you repeat what you said? Because I think your voice broke.
Yeah, data abstraction is like hiding the background and just showing the word of it.
Okay, and then what is data encapsulation then?
Encapsulation is like binding of data and wrapping it, like which is used or which is used with or without. Capsule is like the cover, no?
Hmm.
Something
Right.
related to that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you got it right. So what is
Yeah,
data encapsulation is? It is a binding of data. That means
yeah,
like the whole data that is inside any object. Okay, you can use the complete data in the form of a capsule. Okay. So like in a medicine capsule, in the last class when we talked about it, Amit talked about and like capsules. Okay. So what is a capsule? Capsule is a outer shell covering inside which the medicines are present, right? So exactly, the object is the capsule. Okay, and inside the particular object, whatever properties or whatever data we have, we can use it just like we are consuming a capsule. Okay, so now let's get to what are classes. So classes provide, is the size visible or should I increase the font size?
increase the font size.
Is it fine now?
Yeah,
So classes provide a mean of bundling data and functionality together. Okay, so what does a class do? Class is a like a jumble. Okay, we can say it is a group of objects. So previously, when we talked about classes, when we talked about functions, so a class is a collection of objects. Okay. So let's. I think it will be more clear when we start programming. Okay, and then you can easily understand. In different languages, like in Java or any other different language, like Java, C++, we use the term new. We use the keyword new. Okay, the new keyword, what does it do? It defines a new class. It defines a class of a module. So let's start with creating a class. So we create a class in Python using the keyword class. Okay, and then whatever the class name. Let's say I want to name this class is hello. Okay, so we define it like this. Okay, and then what we will do? We will do def underscore underscore init and self. Okay, so how many of you know about constructors? Like anybody knows like what a constructor is? Just a general definition of what a constructor is. Not in terms of computer, just a general description what the word constructor defines. Guys, come on, answer. Hello. Guys, what is the word?
Constructor is like the person who helps or guides for constructing something.
Okay. So exactly like that, what does this constructor do, this init function? Remember when we talked about packages, we use this as a file name? Remember?
Yeah.
So exactly like that, what we're doing here, that was constructor for that module. And now this is a constructor for this particular class. So let's say I want to use a variable inside the particular class. Okay, I want a variable named help. Okay, this is a, it's actually help is a keyword. So I will say hello. Okay, so I want a particular variable named HELLO, hello. So what should I do? Okay, I need to assign it a value equals to hello world. Okay. So now, do you think we can use it inside the class? Do you think we can use this particular keyword inside a class? For using a particular variable inside a class, you have to define it as self dot hello. Okay. So what will it do? Self is a keyword. Self meaning it is implying to this particular class, that is hello. Okay. The init function is a constructor. The self over here means that it is defining this particular class. It is pertaining to this particular class. So the self keyword, what it will do, it will define that we are using this particular class, that is hello. Okay, and then you are declaring a variable hello inside this class. Is it clear, or should I explain again what self and what init function does?
No, it is clear.
Is it clear to everybody? Pankaj, Priyanshi?
Yes, it's clear.
Okay. So now what should we do? Let's create a function def that will print. Okay, since print is already a word, so we will not write print, we will write printing. And then when we declare this function, we will give pass the self variable. Okay, this is a necessary condition. Okay, to show that this particular statement, like this particular function, is inside this particular class. Okay, so we use a self keywords to show that printing is inside hello. Okay, and now what we will do, we will print the value of self dot hello. Okay, so let me run the code. So let's run the code. Since we did not call the class, because we also need to call the class. So let's call the class. We will write printing, like sorry, self dot printing. I think this will give an error. Name self is not defined. So what do I have to do? I think I will have to call this printing self dot printing. Sorry, self dot printing. Okay, and let's remove this. Still not. We are not getting the answer. Sorry, not this. Hello. Okay. So what we're doing over here, we are calling this function hello. Okay, and then we are first. What will be done? This constructor will be done. So this is a constructor. Okay, we whenever we call the particular class hello. Okay, this constructor function will automatically get called. We don't have to call this function explicitly. Whenever we call this like hello, okay, automatically this statement will be called. So let's run the code. So see, we got the answer as hello world. So what did it do? Is first we called this function, sorry, this class hello. So it came over here, okay, in this part. Then since this is a constructor, so whenever we like call any class, always the first function to be run will be a constructor. Okay, so this is a constructor, so it will be ran for like every time whenever this particular hello is called. So this is run. Okay, and then what will be happen is we are calling the self dot printing method. Okay, so from here the loop the control will go to this part, and then whatever is inside this self dot hello, inside this it will be printed over here. Okay, is it clear, guys? Is it clear how the function is running, or should I explain again? Hello.
Yes, pretty much clear, Keshav.
Okay, what about the rest of you?
It is clear.
Okay, are you getting now what a class is?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so let me write a program, okay, to show what a class actually does. So let's say we are writing a function for calculator. Okay, we are having a class for calculator. So what will be the first statement that will be executed? Can anybody tell? What will be the first thing that you have to write whenever we like introduce a class? Hello.
Def init, def underscore.
Correct. Okay, and remember to pass the self variable inside it. The self variable tells that this is the object, like this is the object, whatever self is the object of calculator. Okay, so over here what we are doing is self is the object of calculator. Did you get it? Self over
Yeah.
here is the object of calculator. So what we will do, self dot, okay, let's say we having a two variable, that is self dot a is equal to a and self dot b is equal to b. So where we'll get this a and b? So we will be passing a and b over here in calculator, a comma b. Okay. Why is it not taking over here? Comma b, and I think it will go. So let me call the function calculator 1, 2. Let me run it. I think it will be an array is not defined. Okay, so let me get to the syntax. So this is the syntax, like scope test over here is the class name. Sorry, it is a function. Okay, it is a function only, so don't get confused. This is a class name. Okay, inside a class we can write anything. It's not necessary that we have to declare a constructor also. We can also write like print whatever is inside, like a comma b. Okay, we can also write this, but I think it is not taking the variables a and b. Just let me get to the concept. Acha, yeah, sorry. Yeah, I got it. So what will happen is we will be passing it inside the init function. Okay. So what is def init? Okay. Inside init function, what we will do, we will write a comma b. Okay. And then we will print it. So over here, what we will do, we will assign the objects value variable that self dot a is equal to a and self dot b is equal to b. Okay. Sorry, again it keeps self. So now what we will do, we will define a function that is def add. Okay, it will take self as a parameter, and then what it will do, it will return self dot a plus self dot b. Okay, then we will have a function def subtract for sub, then we'll pass self, and then we will return self dot a minus self dot b. Correct. And then what we will do, we will do have a self def null, we'll pass self in it. Okay, and then exactly what we will do, we will return self dot a star self dot b, and then we will have a function def divide which will have self, okay, and it will return self dot a divided by self dot b. Okay, is this particular four functions that I've defined inside the class calculator, is it clear to everybody, like what will be happening?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so let's execute this like statements. So what we will do, we will have a object of this class, that is c is equal to calculator. Okay, and then what we will do, we will pass 5, let's say 10 comma 5. Okay, so we will pass this value, and then what we will do c dot. Okay, then let's say I will do add. Okay, so let's see what will be printed. So let's directly print it from here. Okay, let's print it directly. So this is a statement. Now let's execute. So see, it returned as 15, like 10 plus 5 is 15. Okay, so uh, so what this is doing, or c is equal to this. So c will be storing the object of calculator. As I like already discussed, that whenever we call this function, the init function automatically gets called. Okay, so and it returns an object. So what we did over here c will be containing the c is the object of calculator. Okay, is it clear? Like c is the object of class calculator. Okay, and then what we are doing c dot. Previously I told like how we can call functions and concepts. So like we will use the operator dot operand, so that we can go inside a particular class or a particular function. Okay, so over here this dot operator, what will it do? We will be going inside. Okay, inside the c. So c meaning calculator. When we put a dot, that means you're going inside add. Okay, like add or subtract, we're going inside the calculator. And then when we call this add function, it we are going over here. Okay, so the dot operator is used to imply that we are going inside the first this variable, that is this object, and then we are calling this method. Okay, to call any method, you remember we always use a like parentheses. Okay, so this implies that we are calling a function. Is it clear to everybody?
Yeah.
Okay, so if I give you a question now, can everybody be able to solve? Okay,
If
is it clear?
related,
Yeah,
related,
obviously, it has to be related.
then done.
Okay, so okay, like right now, I made a calculator, right? So I
Yes.
want you all guys to uh, write a like class method, so that we can enter prime number. Okay, and it will return us that whether it is a prime number or not. Okay, is the question clear, guys?
Pardon, repeat once again.
Like you have to write a program where the like we take input from the user. Okay, for a number, and we will use a class method to check whether the number is a prime number or not. Okay, cool.
Okay.
Is it
Yeah.
easy?
We'll try.
Okay, I need everybody to like try it. So I'm keeping the like I'm keeping this program codes. Okay, and you have to do it. I'm keeping this code so that you can have a look, guys, and please, I want everybody to try. I will be giving like 10 minutes. Okay, and after that we will discuss.
Keshav?
Yeah, Amit. They're solving a question on prime number of, using the class method.
Okay.
Guys, did you solve?
Yes, I'm solving.
Okay, so share the screenshot or like copy it on the text box, message box. Are you trying or have you like
Yes,
solved it?
just 1 minute left. Give me one
Okay,
minute.
okay, okay.
Keshav, show the previous program, please.
Keshav, I did half of it, and else I'm not getting. So I'm printing just half. Okay, is it okay?
Yeah, sure, sure. Just to like drop them. Okay, I will check it. Wait. Okay, Amit. Sorry. Okay, Pankaj, I'm like copying it. Okay. So just give me 1 minute. Pankaj, the first thing is that it will be double like double underscore on both the sides. Okay, Pankaj.
Yes, yes.
Okay, and the second thing is when you're passing number, you're taking numbers over here, so that is the second error. Okay,
Okay.
and then let's do a tab. Okay, now over here when you're doing int, it will automatically, like, if you will pass numbers, you don't have to do it again.
Okay, okay.
Okay, so I didn't get it. Like, what is on? Like, what did you do over here? Can you explain, like, what did you do? Because double power over here meaning it's square root. So you're taking a square root plus 1. Because I don't think that this is a correct approach. So you had to do like self dot num plus 1. Okay. So that would be fine over till there. And when you were doing num, instead of num, it should have been self dot num. Okay.
Okay.
Modulus I is equal to 0. Return false. See, what is a prime number is it should be divisible like twice. Correct. So if it is divisible more than twice, like by it, like it is divisible by 1, and it is divisible by the number itself. So let's say if the number, okay, so let's keep it like this, okay, and now it will give you the result. Like if it is divisible, then we will return false. So we will call the function class check, okay, and we'll pass the number that is inputted by the user. So let's take n equal to int input, okay, and then we will like enter number and we will pass it in n. Okay, so over here what we will do, we will take a object. So c is equal to, let's say this is an object, and then what we will do, c dot what is the name is prime na? Okay, is prime. So I think this will be good.
We should actually pass n in c dot is prime because the check is a class. You're defining as a function.
No, it is already a class now.
No, we are defining bracket that defines the function. No, in 10th line. Getting observed by your passing the n.
Actually, it will take the n over here na, in the init function. It will automatically take it. Okay, so let's run. Let's see 23. We didn't print the answer, sorry. So let's print it. Print. Okay. So let's do again 23. So it returned none. Why did it return none? 2 comma. Okay. So if the particular number is not, so it should also return true. Actually, it should be outside. So it should be outside like this. So let's again run the code. So let's give this the number 23, and then it is true. True implying that it is a prime number. Okay. So I think I think everybody understood the question. So Amit, can you take forward? Can you share your screen and take forward? Amit, hello.
Yeah, actually, I am not with my laptop. Wait a minute.
Okay. Guys, did you get it till here?
Yes, it's clear.
Okay, Pankaj, did you get like what we are doing over here?
Yes. Please.
So,
I think Keshav, we have done with OOPS concept, and right now we will discuss with the list and the function of tuples.
okay. So
Then we move forward with the class.
sure. So can you like take it forward from here, please?
Yeah.
I have some issues over here.
Yeah, give me 2 minutes.
Huh. Guys, if you want to practice, then you can practice another question. Okay, using the factorial. Okay, just like make another class. Okay, where you will be taking factorial of a number and just complete the program. Okay. So all you have to do is like practice one more question till then. It will be like taking it forward. So till then, just practice one question where we will be taking the factorial of the given number. Okay. So write a program using class, and then just define a function def inside this within itself, and pass the variable in the as in we were doing till now. Then take another function def factorial. Okay, and then just like make the output, like return the output. So okay, till then just practice this question. Okay, Pankaj has shared the question.
No, it's by mistake. I'm just
Okay, okay. Are you trying, both of you?
yes.
Okay, okay.
Okay, guys, let's continue with the topic list tuple and set and dictionary. Actually, I have already told you what is list and what type of like functionality is giving in the Python. Can any one of you can tell me that what is list tuple and which type of like functions they are using in the Python? Hello, I'm audible. Pankaj, I'm audible.
Yes, yes, Amitabh. I'm
Yeah.
just solving the question.
Okay. Yes, all right now. Okay. Take 2 minutes and then we'll proceed forward.
Amit, can you repeat your question?
Yeah, actually, I'm asking that in Python, I have already told you what is list, what is tuple, not in brief way, but yeah, we have told you that what is a list and how they are using in the Python. So can you a little bit give me a description about this?
Tuple is immutable.
Tuples are actually used to store multiple items in a single variable. Actually, uh, that's what the use is of tuple. Am I right?
Right? Yeah. So actually, I have already told you that tuples are not yeah, just immutable things, and we have defined as a data types, okay, standard data types, and we divided the standard data types into two parts. First, we have number mutable, which is mutable at this in this running condition, and second is immutable, which didn't run in the run, which that we cannot change in the running condition. For examples, we have string, number, and tuples. Okay. So Keshav, can you like stop sharing your screen? Yeah, thanks. So guys, my screen is visible to you. Guys, is it visible?
Yes, it is.
Let me open a And I think there are many functions which is tolerated by only mutable functions in the stack, in the list, and as well as in the like tuple. Tuple basically use concatenations, normal functions, magical operations like plus, minus, subtraction, several function they easily used. And so let's discuss what is basic tuple. Tuple has normally is the data standard data type which help you to create a like different type of different type of data types in it. In one of them, like a collection of strings, numbers, float numbers, doubles, values, and other different amount of data in one. But they have like certain limitation. But they have certain if you create any tuple in for the four-digit number, or yeah, if you create four numbers in one tuple, then you cannot remove that number. You cannot change that number. If you change the number, it will show you error. Let me tell you an example. First, saving divide. Yeah, creating the file. Take a second. Okay. So let's take one example. Create a app is equal to it's a list and g is equal to the tuple.
Amit, can you increase the size?
Yeah, which actually my laptop is and not giving me this.
Okay, no problem. You can like I can share the screen.
Yeah, if you can then
Okay, okay. Stop it.
oh let me wait. Yeah, it's working. Uh, okay, I'm stopping over there. I need to share screen. Then Keshav, can you share your screen? Sorry guys, let me do it. Uh, yeah, let's say for example, f is equal to one list and g is equal to one tuple. Okay, now Keshav commented out over there that there's a tuple and this is a list. So in tuple, if I will declare like g having a 10 value, 10 data in the g, and in the running time you didn't change the value, but you can add, you can subtract, you can use another operation to create such type of combinations, but you did not change the property in the length of that whole tuple. Let's say for example, if G is have a collection of 1 2 3 4, and again the other value is L, which have a value is containing normal names like no, actually take one new tuple. Yeah. So in this tuple, it will take a name of Keshav, Amit, like some names if you want, you can add out. Yeah, Python, another one more name, in Java. Yeah, that's sufficient. Uh, yeah, Ruby. Okay, so you can use the operation symbols like G plus L. You can save it in one variable, otherwise you can directly print it also. So when you save in this variable and you print the M, you will get the value. Okay, what do you get? 1 2 3 4 and the whole. You didn't change the length of the tuple. You normally combine the two tuples, but you didn't change the value. Okay, but you can do one more thing, like if you're removing one value from there, you're not removing, is a subtraction of that point. If the G having same 1 2 3 4, and again L also taking a 1 2 3 4, and then you use M is equal to Q minus L, sorry, G minus L, and at the time when you're printing the data, it will subtract the data if the data is same over there. And you didn't you didn't change the length and this thing. Yeah, you use. Now it's giving error. What is giving error? Unsupport of it. Okay, it's the supporting right now in this 3 point version. And in 2 point version, it's supporting the value. Let's remove this one here. So in tuple one, you can add, but in the list itself, you can do anything in the like upcoming things. If you use G dot append over here, it will show you error, because append is normally like taking a data and inserting in some container, that only single one. Okay, only single variable. If you are appending, if you take and give it to the any container, it will use append. But right now in tuple, it didn't give you like that value over there, because they are not getting the data. The function is not allowed to add up the function and the value over in the G, because G is the tuple. Okay, we should run the code. But if I try, yeah, this is giving me no attribute over there. But if I try in this F1, the list one, F dot append, and then print the value of F, we will insert one value, 5, the last index of the same list. Yeah, run the code. You got a 5. Before that, the list is empty, but right now one value is appended. Yeah, another function, this is append function. Let's add up another function, which is extend. Okay, so if you have a value taking two lists and combine the both of them, you can use the plus symbol, but extend can directly append the whole data which you want. Right. So in this one, we are extending G in F. So the whole list of second one, it will go over there. Append normally give you a single data to append to insert in the list, but when you are using extend, if you want to extend a two list, you can use like this. You are thinking that we can use directly plus symbol also. Yeah, you can, but main thing is that if you have a certain limitation of point of view, like if you want, like in G you have 30 data, okay, and 30 data, you want only 15 data and extend over there in the new list. Okay, so at the time when you are dealing with this one, this function, you will directly use by passing the value of the like what we say that, yeah, range. You can pass the range and you can insert it. Like Keshav, can you put in G and in G no, extend G, yeah, pass the range from where you to where you want. Okay, so in the code here. Okay, it will only insert the normal value, the 4 and 5, not insert it 6 1. But when you use the plus symbol, Keshav, can you use the plus symbol also? Like, yeah. Okay, so you will get whole the data. That's mean when you are dealing with this extend one, you can minimize, you can like take control over there how many element you want to insert at this particular way. But if you come to the addition of that, you can add concatenate that. And now another thing is that removing the element. Okay, so let's remove the element from the list, and we will use the remove function. In which case, f dot remove a particular value, a particular indexing. Yeah. So now, what you are thinking? Is it giving you a value or is it giving you error? Let's run this code. Showing your data. You're giving the particular value, and at the particular rate, first search the value. Keshav, can you pass on 3 2 times in the f function? In f list? No, 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 not over here. The f list, yeah. So now it's removing the first of the three. If he would directly check the number of now checking the number in the list, and if he get the value, he directly remove and then stop to continue searching of that same number. But if you pass the same thing in the line number 3, it will show you error. Have you got this one? Nice. Okay. What is that? Yeah. Nice question, Pranshi. Uh, Normally, list and tuple are both thing are same. You know about the array. Okay, so this is the advanced version. The both of them are the advanced version of normal array. Array, what is array? Array is a collection of a homogeneous substance. Okay, homogeneous data type. But when it's come to list, it is a heterogeneous type of data types. It's combination of one and give you a proper body. So in tuple and list, there's the two main major difference. First is they are the tuple is immutable, list is mutable. Okay, tuple didn't use any functions which inbuilt in the Python, but in the list you can append, you can use remove, you can use derivative. This is two major factor where you can see that there are two different. Otherwise, the whole system and whole technique is same. Calling the value, getting the value, everything is same. Have you got your answer?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah. Another one is that there's one more function to deleting. It's like just like extend. Extend is also addition of some data in the normal list. So in this one, we use delete function also. Can you use delete function, Keshav? No, directly, yeah. Del and in the bracket give the name of that list. Value. Yeah. DL only DL. Yeah. This is a del function which remove the whole data. Yeah, but it's giving you error. Why? Can anyone guess this one? Why it's giving you that? Why it's saying that name f is not defined? Any one of you? Just try one. Just try this one. Error say f is not defined, but actually we have defined one list over in the front of the number one line. The f is equal to 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 3. But is right now he was giving f is not defined. You should remove that this del and then run the code. Yeah. Now it's giving the value. Keshav, recap this one again. Yeah. Now it's giving you why it's giving you error. Why it's not giving you data? Anyone guess this one?
Maybe because def function is not given.
What?
Maybe because def function is not given. Like
Null
def.
function. Actually, they are giving you error that f is not defined. The f is not defined means you are not declaring f, but we are already declaring the value f. Del function is used everywhere in any language. Read some data.
Okay.
Nice try. What about others, guys? Alice is there. Okay. So let me tell you why it's giving you error. Okay. You have already know that Python is a dynamic language. So you have actually first line we create and we define the list. But when it's come when you use in third line you use the del function. Del function destroy the whole data. Or actually destroy the already declared variable. It already destroy the f variable, the dynamic version. If it is static at the time, it will show you not error that already defined. But in the dynamic one, when you are trying to print this one after the del, that's mean the destruction came over there and destruction function destroy the variable and there is no value and there is no data regarding that. So that's why it's giving you error. But if in another line, del f, if you use f is equal to another list body, it will give you data. Rishabh? Yeah. If you use del f, yeah, and in the next line you will use f. No. F is equal to yeah. No. Not pass value. Not pass the value. Yeah. Only run the code. Now it is not showing you any error because in the same the dynamic time, first the data is created in the first line. Third line, the whole data is destroyed. The variable is destroyed, not data. It directly destroys this container. And in the fourth line, it already again create the variable again. And then the data is not giving you error. Have you got this one, guys?
Yes.
Okay. So let's jump to the another function, the pop function. Okay, the pop function itself means like when you want to remove particular value, okay, particular value with a particular index. Like in F, if I want to remove 2, so can you tell me, guys, the indexing of 2 is like which number? The value of 2 is equal to which number of indexing in F? Guys?
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello. One index one.
It's 1. Okay, yeah, that's nice. 1. So we put out your 1 and run the code. It removed the particular specific value. Have you got this one, guys? Have you got this one, guys?
Yes.
Yeah. Keshav, can you use the clear function? Now this clear functions help you to clear the data, not a variable. No. Yeah, over the third line. Use app dot clear. Run this one. Now data is empty. Clear function didn't destroy the variable at the same time. It only removed the whole data. Like somewhere like in the purchasing time, you have an amount of data and you purchase something and yeah, that give it the payment in the UPI and the other method. And but sometimes the that what is it that the whole things come under in the undergoing process. So that time the transition date and transition things is gonna share in one specific body, and after the transition kind of complete, it remove the whole data. So at that point of view, you will use delete, but you want to delete the whole cell of that particular date. But if you want to clear data, normally clear data, you will use the clear function. Resetting the data, yeah. So in addition point of view, we have used append, we have used extend, but we can use one more thing, insert function. So Keshav, can you use the insert function, app.insert, and give the variable, give the first indexing where you want to insert, and then give the value. Yeah. So in the code, Keshav. Okay. In second index, 0, 1, and 2, you got the seventh. Have you got this one, guy? Khalid, have you any question?
No. I just sorry. No. Actually, I think 7 you will be inside after 2, right? Before 3.
Yeah.
Hello. Right?
Yeah.
2 and 3. Be between 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. If you can normally if you increase the indexing, you will get before or after that also. Like if Keshav will put it 0, so in the replacement of 2, so it will show you in the first one, first index. Yeah, 7, 1, 2, 2, 3. Okay. So first position is for your yeah.
It can be
Okay.
minus also. Hello.
Yeah.
It can be
Yeah.
minus.
When you use the
With
minus
array
function,
position.
when you are
Array
actually
position.
you are
Is
like
the
if you are
array, right?
using the minus one, yeah.
Yeah.
If you're using
Then one will
minus
be
one, it
reset.
will come from the back end. Okay, from the back side.
Okay, means
It
the
will
before.
starting their indexing from the back side.
Amit, can you please explain this once again? Insert
Yeah.
function.
Yeah.
One
Actually,
before.
uh, in the insert function, first point when you use app.insert, the first value is defining the position of the where the data which you want to insert. Okay. And the second one variable is defined that which data you want to insert at the same at that position. So right now, after doing this one, the second indexing of that list, you will be insert 7. So after running the code, it will show you 1, 2, 7, 3, 3. It will show you if you can run it. So can you run it?
Yes.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
yeah.
1, 2, 7,
But
1, 2,
one
7, 3, 3.
minus.
Yeah.
But
So
when
in the
the
Python
insert
is a that.
minus one.
I'm I'm
Okay,
telling you that
showing.
right now.
Okay.
Yeah. So when you're dealing in array in list in that range body, when you're dealing with a minus one, when you declare the initial position as a minus one, that means you are trying to use the list from the back side, not from the front side. That's means if you are using minus one, that means you are using the value from the back. Or in the if the list having starting 3 from the back side, so you use a minus one indexing for the 3, and after that you insert the value of 7.
Please
Have
run
you
this
got
code.
this one? Yeah,
Please
Keshav, can you
run
run this
this
code?
code.
Yeah.
3 using the minus indexing 1, and then after that we will insert the value 7. If we use minus
Okay,
2,
yeah, yeah.
it will
Between
insert
three.
after again
I see.
number of third. Have you got this one?
Between
Yeah.
2 and 3, right? If there is minus
Yeah.
insert function,
Keshav, can you put
instead
it
of 2,
minus
1.
2? Instead of 1, can you put it Keshav minus 2? Okay, it will show you from the yeah, between 2 and 3.
There's no screen right now. There's no showing screen. Yeah, no, yeah, okay, fine. Minus 2, and it will be between 2 and 3, right?
Yeah. But remember one thing, when you're dealing with the front side, you will use indexing 0. Okay, but in the backend side you didn't use 0 because 0 already occupied the value from front side. Have you got this one?
First one. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. From first.
Okay, 0 actually
Zero is the
already
number 1.
in yeah.
1. Number not 1.
So yeah. So we have completed with append, we have completed with extend, we have completed with insert, we have completed with pop, we have completed with remove, we have completed with del function, we have completed with remove function. So now let's come to the another functions, which is count. We can use count. Okay, so how the count function is using we're working. So it will directly normally count the value. If you use a count and in the bracket you pass 3, it will check how many times 3 number is in this list, whole list. Yeah, you didn't print the value, Keshav, save in the variable. Yeah. Okay.
It should be 1 rhythm,
So
right?
3 in the it's 2, because in 3 in the F list
Also
we
G,
have
right?
2 times 3. Yeah.
Or 2, 3.
Can you more? Can you Keshav insert more data?
No,
Yeah,
not
Khalid.
3. Okay. More 3. Insert more 3. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's it. Oh, number 3 and okay. This one, yes, yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. 5, 3, yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. So
Yes, thank
after
you.
that we will use sort. Sort
And
function
what
helps
about
you
the
to sorting the whole
G?
data.
Why G? If the G G's if the
Okay, in the
G
G,
variable,
there is
if
no
it
it will
count
show you
G
0.
variable, if there G 3,
There is no 3, so it will show you 0.
is there any one option to hold the second G combined G to count the 3?
Your voice is not. Your voice is lagging. Okay, after
Can I mark
combining the whole
F and
thing.
G? Can I mark F and G also?
Yeah.
Oh,
Now
I
it's
see,
also
combined.
5.
Yeah, yeah. That's
It will showing it.
Yeah,
Keshav,
yeah.
can you add this one in the variable? The variable.
also
Convert it in the
insert the
variable
3
because
1
it will be
3
giving error.
insert the G.
Take C is equal to L plus G. Yeah. F plus G.
F,
Now use the C
yes.
function. C is a count function. You're checking the 3 value. It will show you again 5 because the whole
Also the
combination
5,
of
yeah,
F
because
and G.
there is no 3 actually. So it's in the
Yeah.
G function. Please insert
Yeah.
1 3 and the G. In the G.
Let's
G
use
function.
5.
Yes, there.
We have 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whatever.
So it will show you 2.
5. Yes, 5. Yes. Thank you. Yeah, that's all.
Yeah. Okay. So another function which is like why Python is easy, because Python is itself giving you such type of libraries which you have known about this, like the short function. If we pass a variable and if we print the C, it will give you the whole like sorted array, sorted value. Okay. So yeah, come out from this case. Yeah. Run this one. Yeah, before and after, yeah, you can put it out. So before when you have not sorted the array, it will look like this, and then after that you will look like this. Before one you have 1 2 3 3 6 3 3 6 3 5 4 3 8 2 like that. But in after sorting this one, you will arrange in the according the number 1 2 2 3 3 3 3 3 4 4 5 5 like in the sorted manner. Okay, so we have this type of function. Okay, another one function is that we have a reverse function. We can use a reverse function which help you to reverse the whole list. So the reverse one, yeah. So it will add up the function and then reverse the whole data. So before that, it will show you 1 2 3 3 6 3 5 4 3 8 2 4 5 6. But after reverse, it will show you 6 5 4 3 6 3 3 2 1. Yeah. So 1 2 3 3 3 6 6 again. I will show you this, and again after the reversing the whole list, it will show you 6 5 4 3 6 3 3 3 2 1. So come to the point of the copy function. We have a copy function also. Okay. So Keshav, we have two type of things you can define that. Assigning the value, you can assign, and after assigning the data, it will also give you the whole copy. But when it's come to the copy function, you can directly copy the function by using copy function. And main thing is that we have two types of copy. One is shallow copy, and another is deep copy. Okay, run this one. Yeah. Keshav, can you import copy function? One supposed to import the copy function. Actually, yeah, can you import the function? Directly importing it.
It's not an error.
No, it's not an error, but when we are dealing with shallow and deep, you want to import first. Okay, remove m is equal to ckesha first. Directly use copy function. Yeah. Uh, yeah, pass and take made one variable which is empty list. M is equal to empty list, and then m dot copy c. No argument. I show you code. Copy dot copy and m is equal to no, not over here. Starting. Yeah. This is called your shallow copy. No, normal not shallow copy. It's a deep copy. Okay. So what is the advantage and disadvantage in deep copy and shallow copy? So when we are dealing with the copy the function, now can after copy the code, if you will change the variable, like if you insert append some data, like in can you append the data in m dot append 3 or 8. So now when you append the data, it will shown in the M value. Okay. So yeah, run this both. Print C also. Yeah, print C also. So actually, when you are dealing with shallow copy and deep copy, it will directly copy the data from the variable which you have given the data, and after that it will reflect the data combination in first variable also. Like right now, we have copied the data from the C. In the deep copy, when you copy the data from any variable, it didn't affect the operation which you have performed in that variable which you have defined. Like C right now, C is having a value 1 2 3 3 6 3 4 5 6, and when we copy by the deep copy function, m is equal to copy dot copy, the whole data of C is copying in the M. Okay, but when we append the value in M, it doesn't affect the value of C. The value of C is same before that, but when it's come to shallow copy, it will show you a normal, what is that, effect in the whole data. So let me tell you the where you will insert data. Okay, so shallow one, I think shallow copy is the function. Check out Keshav, shallow dot function is there. Yeah, is it, can you run this one? Any. Okay. And that can you open the PPT which you have sent it? Yeah, Keshav, use copy dot deep copy. And copy dot, I think copy dot copy. Yeah, copy dot copy is a function for the shallow. Okay, and copy dot deep copy is a function for deep copy. So if, yeah, you can use it, and it will showing you a data. Okay, it will showing you this type of data. Yeah. So copy dot copy is also saving, giving us some data. 1 2 3. Hey, Keshav, show me the code first. Okay. Uh, I think it doesn't print the value. It's from the value of C is equal to 1 2 3 4 5. It doesn't appending the value, no. Uh, let's remove this one. And I said deep copy is a copy dot deep copy is a function. Basically, it's a data. Okay. So let's come to another point. We have two type of copies, I already told. In deep copy, you will be inserting the data, and it didn't defect to the other one. But in this one, check out this. Before appending this, it affect the value of C in the before one. They have a value of before, and the C is same. But we have changing the value after copying the data. We can append the whole data in the one of them, but right now it's not copying the whole data, and it didn't affect the value of C. But in shallow copy, you will affect with that. Have you got this one, guys? Deep copy. Let me show you one example. Can you open that PDF which we have given them? No, no, it's PDF. Search out the shallow copy. Yeah, Keshav, go to the code. Let's take a 2, 3, 1. Yeah,
Can you
Keshav,
share this document file to all of the participants?
we have already
Can you please?
shared that one. We have already shared in the website. Can we will download from our websites? So yeah, we have sent it that link also. Uh, yeah, Keshav,
If you
do
do
one thing.
again,
Can
I will be thankful.
yeah, I will. I will. I will. Keshav,
Okay,
can you
thank you.
send?
Thank you.
Can some not send? F is equal to. Can you put it 2 to 3 list in the one list? Yeah, made it 2 to 3 lists. Okay, now we can define the whole thing in easy way. This is 2D array, guys. This is 2D list. Sorry. So yeah, first one also made Keshav to made first one also the list. Yeah, this one. Yeah. Okay. So now come to the that m dot append. Use use normally m giving the indexing 1 1 0. Not it. Remove whole. Write m bracket. No brackets. Yeah, today area 1 and 0. 1 another one 0 is equal to not giving this one. Normally give the code BB or AA. Yeah, inside. Yeah. So right now in the 2D list we have appending, not appending. We are replacing the value, and it will affect the whole data of C as well as M because we are using deep copy. Keshav? Yeah. Check out this one, guys. Uh, yeah, check out in C1 we have the same data which we have inserted, but in M we have changed the indexing of 0 and 1, which is defining as 128, and we replace the value AA. So we use deep copy didn't affect this value of C, but if we use copy dot copy, it will directly affect on also in C also. So can you put it out copy dot copy? Yeah. Yeah, this one is shallow copy. So when you run this one, it will directly affect to whole data. Check out this, guys. In AM, we have replaced the value with AA. It also affect on C, which is a mother, which is a parent class for the M. Have you got this one, guys? Guys, Jagrati, Khalid.
Yes, I'm getting it.
Okay. What about this, guys? So we have two type of let's recap this one. We have two type of copy, which is shallow copy and another is deep copy. In shallow copy, when you are taking data from a parent class and you changes some data in the child class, it directly affect also in the parent class. This is an example for the shallow copy. But when it's come to the deep one, and the deep one, if the parent class gives the data to the child class, and child class arrange and remove some data and manipulate the data, at that point of view, parent class didn't change their data. Okay, so we have end up with this whole can you open the PDF, Keshav, the certificate PDF? In the studio PDF, we have how much we have done. Yeah, at this one, Keshav. Yeah. So in this one, we have done with the first one, we have done with the flow control, we have done with the functions, we have done with the data types. Right now, the whole data types we will define, right? The set and dictionary is left. I will explain you over here. And the Python, and tomorrow we will jump towards Python files, and we'll complete the Python files itself in a single day. And after that, the object and classes. the object classes remain like proofs concept is defined. Everything overloading, inheritancy, and everything is defined. But class is today's Keshav is defined. But how we inherit the class from the class, we will define this thing tomorrow itself. And yeah, the last thing is advanced topic, which is not a big thing, which helps you normally iterate some data, how you can give a closure, how you can generate, how you can construct, how you can destroy the data. The whole class is coming under over there, property of that. And in 24th or 25th, we will jump directly in the GUI and complete with the one project. We made one project, simple projects for today's explanation, the whole syllabus which we have used, which we have taught. Okay, so let's come to the set and the dictionary. Guys, if you have any query, any issues regarding list and tuple, you can ask right now. Functions we have used in list. Yeah.
Can you please explain tuple once again, like little bit closure of it?
Yeah. So normally tuple is a basic thing which the whole functionality is similar to the list, but tuple didn't have a like it's a property to use a different type of functions. And that thing is come under what come under similarity of array, because array have a limitation, tuple also have a limitation, but yeah, what we say that a list didn't have any limitation. So yeah, jumping towards the more advanced version, array have a collection of homogeneous, but tuple is a collection of heterogeneous. But when it's come to list, it is a collection of heterogeneous and having a number huge amount of function which help you to create easier way. Have you got this Jagati?
Yeah.
So, Kishav, shall we end up or we will close the set and dictionary also?
Let's keep it for the next class.
Okay. Okay, guys, if you have any query, you can ask right now. Kishav, can you send out that website link and Khalid will download from there?
Yeah.
Are they providing you in the WhatsApp? No, not in WhatsApp.
Yes, thank you.
Providing you in the chat box of the same meeting link.
Please send me, yes. And the schedule also.
What?
Schedule, the schedule. Actually.
Okay, you want schedule also?
Yeah. Thank you. The both.
Schedule actually already in the WhatsApp group.
I see, but I didn't find maybe. Okay, I'll search it again.
Okay.
Khalil, you have to sign up on our website. Okay, this is the link. I will share it.
Oh no, maybe not. Please give it to me.
Okay, this is the website link. You will have to register first. Okay, you will get a verification email.
Yeah.
Then you will log in, and after login, go to tutorials. Then go for files. Okay, and then like this is the Python notes, and you can view it over here also, or you can directly download it.
Why?
Okay, or you can download it from here.
It's locked. See anything?
So it will start the download.
I'm going to say anything. Okay, just one page. We will see, and that's hanging. Maybe it's freezing or hanging. Let's see both.
What is hanging? I
Just
think your internet is not proper.
Yeah. Yeah. My business is Now okay, fine. My line is today is very bad. Okay.
Just go through this like tutorials, then files.
My mobile data. Okay, so please send me. I will check it and download it later. Okay.
I sent it.
Okay, thank you. I'm using mobile actually now. This is very small font, you know. Oh, thank you. The end of the today class?
Yes, Khalil.
Okay, bye. Thank you.